in the game. She was patient, and she's there again on that transverse line. Phoenix better this morning on that transverse line as a backup resource, aren't they? They were holding back a bit yesterday.
Yeah, really nice backup. And it was great as well to swing it to the far side reset because it just opened up the attack.
Evans continues her 100% shooting streak this morning. 4 minutes left on the clock of this first quarter, and the score is now 5 goals apiece.
It was well seen as well by Thomas. She's unlucky it's been brought back because the goal shooter was home alone. They're going to have to start switching in that circle, City Flames.
And we might have just jinxed Evans' shooting streak, so we do apologise, Lauren.
That was a pass.
Of course. Still on 100% for us, but Rachel Griffiths has no problems putting that in the net.
Oh, a good decision from Bell not to send that forward. Radcliffe.
Lovely work. Elise Hayward drew both defenders away from Bell. Clever play from Howell. Another pass from Evans. But Griffiths pulled for using the post to balance. Birchhurst running scot-free through the court as Evans takes a little breather.
Yeah, good decision by Bell. Lovely 1-2 with Radcliffe.
And there's Radcliffe to put that ball in the net. Takes the score to 6 goals to 5. Oh, and Katie Darlow again read that so well, didn't she? Her vision's exceptional from the back of the court there.
She really did, and put her body on the line because she would have seen that Thomas had no sight of her coming out, so she was always going to take that hit.
She's a strong player, Katie Darlow.
Oh, lovely step in from Charles.
Wonderful step. Saw the space right in front of her. No one marking her. Wonderful space by Bell. Know exactly where her feet were.
Timing, speed. Honestly, you're like, where was this yesterday? This is really nice netball.
Bit of patience needed. And Selena Radcliffe.
Yeah, it was a
nothing wrong with Radcliffe's.
No, it was Birchhurst. There was a real tussle going on between her and Evans, and I think she's been pulled for marking out of court. She actually followed her off court to defend.
And Birchhurst obviously doesn't agree with the call, but gets back on her game. Very physical player, Tizzy Birchhurst. Very athletic. Charles comes out of her circle, gives another option. Nice to see.
Oh, it's such a good swing as well.
And gives that option for Radcliffe then to utilise herself more, isn't it?
Yeah, I do think they've done a great job on their homework. And the thing is, that must also be frustrating for West Wales because they'll have watched them yesterday, right, and done their homework on how they played yesterday, and now it's like playing a different team.
Because yesterday we saw a lot of Sivak. She was working really hard. Oh, Radcliffe managed her feet, couldn't find Hayward. But Sivak was working so hard yesterday and turning over balls, those high balls in, but she's not getting an arm in, is she, on Charles?
No, not at all. And it is the timing and the space. And actually the ability of the feeders. You know, yesterday some of the balls were coming in quite hard and flat, whereas these just have a bit more touch on them.
Well, 3 goals, the deficit. Now 4. 10 goals to Flames, plays 6, for Phoenix.
It's got to go in. Oh, no,
and the clock is running down. And Charles will be pulled for contact on Sivak. So the end of this first quarter on day 2, game 1. Flames versus Phoenix. 10 goals to Flames, plays 6 goals to Phoenix. What a start to the second day. Who is this yellow team that's come out?
I know, they've absolutely come out firing, haven't they? I mean, we saw them play with speed yesterday, but a lot of it was uncontrolled. And so when they were putting those feeds in, sometimes they were off balance. As I said before, sometimes they were quite flat feeds into Charles. Charles was quite close to the goal line. And they've obviously gone back and looked at all those things and they've tweaked it. Now they're really thinking about their passes. If they've come through at speed, the last ball they're thinking about a bit more. They're on both feet. They're not stood on one foot. And the circle space is so much nicer. You know, Charles is holding high, playing to post, and Radcliffe's entering as well. Is just, just aiding it all. It's just really good play.
Definitely, and we see that combination a bit better now, don't we, from Bell and Radcliffe. They're playing with each other more as a unit than they were playing as maybe as individuals yesterday. And we were talking yesterday about how the morale of the way you're playing can make you play better as well. And maybe we're seeing that a bit more from Flames this morning.
Yeah, I think so. I think you've hit the nail on the head of them playing together, though, more. We saw quite often Bell take every other ball or Hayward take every other ball through the court. And what's happening now is quite even distribution between all three of them, Hayward, Bell and Radcliffe at the front. And I think that's really helping.
Definitely. Well, Phoenix are not out of it just yet. It's only a 4-goal deficit, like we've said many times yesterday. Very close matches. It's only 2 turnovers.
Yeah, and you know what? They've got to look at defensively what they can do to try and stop this. So, as we talked about, City Flames bring the ball through quite quickly. How can they hold them up? How can they disrupt that feed? So, getting arms over and also creating that sort of one-player free. So, we saw it at one point in time. I think it was Roberts came through on the fly for the ball because they'd had one player free placed almost, and it made it look really open, and Roberts just came through and took it. And you know what? That's superb defending. They need to do more of that or hold them up higher and win the ball higher up through the court.
Absolutely. And Sivak, like we said yesterday, had a wonderful day yesterday. She was all over those high balls coming in. She was working really hard. But at the moment, because you've seen that change in Charles and how she's stronger and working enough space around her, Sivak's having a little bit of difficulty doing that.
Yeah, I think she's just got to keep on taking her feet off the body. Like I say, it's really hard. When those balls are accurate, it's really hard. And you can't just, as a keeper, you need the people out the front of you doing that job. You need them to have arms over. You need them to disrupt the feed a little bit. Otherwise, it's always going to be virtually unbeatable one-on-one. The best she can do is keep her feet off and actually eyes up and see if she can hunt something early.
But we cannot fault the shooting on Phoenix's side. Lauren Evans is absolutely smashing those long bombs in, and Rachel Griffiths has also had a couple of shots in. I don't think I've seen her missed yet either.
No, you know what? It's just getting the ball to them. They've struggled with a couple of times, and I think it's more where it's been double marked. There've been confusion, a couple of silly errors. It's not anything that they can't tweak. They can definitely tweak that now moving forward, and just look about having more than one option to ball.
Well, as we start here now, the second quarter of this first match of the day. No changes to be seen for City Flames, and a lovely little triangle work of off-balance players just happening there in the attacking circle. However, one change happening for Phoenix. We have seen Hayley Lewis-Howell take to the bench. Ellie J. Jones has come in to the centre court, the youngster. She is a talent in this league. She's only young, but she is proving herself to be very competent. Oh, what a ball from Sarah Bell.
And just those ones, like Emma Roberts did well to read that, but catch it. 2 hands.
And there is Josie Sivak going for that high ball. No doubt, assistant coach, defence extraordinaire Helen Thomas would have told her to really fight for that ball against Charles. And Jill Morgan again with those arms.
Yeah,
there is Ellie J. Lauren Evans just checking she's in the circle before attempting that long shot. Obstruction called for Elise Hayward from outside of the circle. And just off the post, but wonderful rebound from Evans.
Oh, superb, quick, smart play there as well.
And just a little step in, and she's in her favourite range. Oh, wonderful work from all three of those attackers then.
Such a nice fake from Sarah Bell, and then to just turn and send it to Charles.
And Radcliffe drew almost 3 defenders, didn't she, out of the circle then?
Yeah, they've got to be careful to try and stay one-on-one and not get drawn to that clear, because Radcliffe does that really well. It's great chat from the back.
Katie Darlow is very vocal in the back there, especially when her defensive partner was out for contact, and she really dictated that circle using Jill Morgan as an extra defender. And Elise Hayward finding all the space, and there's the ball to Charles. Much better movement from Charles this morning, finding that space and timing.
Even just the options on second phase for City Flames, I mean, they've just got done contact, but are so much better. Like Elise Hayward's looking down, and when Radcliffe's coming out, she's pulling wide to make sure that she doesn't get in the way.
Unfortunate error there from Phoenix. Not many options on that ball. And Lauren Evans again.
Yeah, unfortunate, deemed to be too close, but great that she's defending so hard through the court.
And Charles to bring the score up to 14-7.
See, the difference there for West Wales Phoenix is that second phase drive is really flat from the centre, and she's the only offer coming through on second phase. That's why it's a bit stickier, but Lauren Evans on the long shot.
Oh, what a lovely rebound from Lauren Evans. Rachel Griffiths can't quite capitalise on that, and Darlow will pick that up.
Lovely drive
Tizzy
onto the ball.
Birchurst on the move. And Sivak got a hand to that one. Lovely work by Radcliffe. And there's that defensive effort of Phoenix.
Yeah, it was much better defending there between Sivak and Roberts. Lots of switching, just covering the front.
This ball is moving through court so quickly, isn't it, today? It's on the pace of the ball moving. It's obviously working for Flames, working very well, but is it a bit too fast for Phoenix?
You know what, at the moment, before it wasn't getting into the circle, now it's getting into the circle, but the shots aren't going in for them. They just need everything to come together at the same point in time, which sounds really easy, but...
It's basically netball, isn't it?
Yeah.
Radcliffe takes the score to 15-7.
Yeah, West Wales Phoenix really need to start to try and make an indent into this scoreline now, because otherwise the game will run away from them.
Flames really showing what they're made of now. Lovely patience from Sarah Bell, but well read from Roberts. Anne wins the back line.
Yeah, much better off the body, looking at the long ball in rather than focusing on sticking tight onto a player, and I think that's how they're going to win ball against this pairing of Charles and Radcliffe.
And the voice of Katie Darlow from the back is very loud and clear all the way up here for us on the balcony.
It is, and they've just got this really nice defensive unit. They're like creating like a dice in the middle, City Flames, and what we saw then was them keeping all of West Wales Phoenix all on one side, which was really, really smart. West Wales Phoenix need to recognise that and have somebody pull wide and just be a wider option so that they can at least pull that defence apart a little bit or swing it and open up the other side.
Absolutely, and some changes for Phoenix. Emma Roberts has taken to the bench. We did have a confirmation that she did pick up a slight injury yesterday. So Sarah Jordan has come on to goal defence. And Ellie J, the youngster, has gone on to the bench, and Hayley Lewis-Howell is back on in the middle.
Oh, a lovely reverse hand there by Jessica Thomas. Lovely shot.
Thomas finds Howell. Can't quite find her shooters yet. Doesn't want to force, but there is Darlow.
Yeah, that box zone is just proving too much for them, but they'll get another shot here.
Swing over to Thomas, but again, that wonderful defensive work from Flames. Birchurst and Darlow creating that pressure for Hayward just to zoom through and pick up that ball.
Yeah, they were caught stood still, West Wales Phoenix, and that, you know, long diagonal ball with someone stood still is very unlikely to land.
And 10 is now the deficit. Flames on 17 to Phoenix's 7. Wonderful work by Charles just to get herself that extra inch of space.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if the umpire had seen that because she was on the other side, but very good call.
Lovely work by Catherine Murray, the very experienced umpire we have here. Oh, Darlow again saw that ball slightly late on her run, wasn't sure to commit, but Griffiths was not ready for that ball from Evans.
No, and
expecting Evans to shoot from there.
Yeah, and I think they also just need a bit of disguise on their passes. I think the opposite, what you see in the opposite end for City Flames is the use of the second option, or sometimes faking the first, giving the second, or faking the second and then going back to the first. But West Wales Phoenix tend to give the ball that they see at the moment, and it's a bit easier to read.
Well, she shoots from there, Lauren Evans, and it's just under a minute left on the clock as the seconds do tick down. Hayward will have to take the centre pass. And Flames could be quite creative with the ball here, try and run the clock down, as Sarah Bell is doing.
And look at that switch of sides between Bell and Hayward. Like, they're balancing the court so well in attack.
Wonderful work from both of them. 20 seconds now on the clock, which forces Phoenix to take their centre pass. And Griffiths counters.
Yeah,
Hayward has no choice but to take that centre pass into Charles. It goes. A second left, and she just misses. However, a contact call against Sarah Jordan.
I love it. Charles is like, Jordan, come back here.
And she gets it in there. So that will count on the buzzer for Tasha Charles. The final score of that first half, 20 goals to City Flames, to West Wales Phoenix's 9. Well, what a quarter that was for City Flames. They ran away with that one.
They really did. And you know what? It's technically really good netball from them at the moment. I think their centre pass to goals are so much slicker. So we talked about the feeds being better. But what you're seeing on the centre pass for City Flames at the moment is they've got a really clear first offer. It tends to come from Sarah Bell. That first offer lands, and then what you're getting is one clear second phase offer on the forward. It tends to be Radcliffe, but if not, Hayward is coming through. If the first offer doesn't come on, they're then looking at the second offer, and they've always got a lateral offer as well. So they've literally got, you know, the textbook 3 offers that we talk about, the front, the diagonal, and the lateral, and they're arriving in staggered timings. It's literally textbook netball.
It is really wonderful work. We were just talking about how they're balancing the court so nicely as well. So like you said, if that first offer of maybe the lateral or the diagonal isn't on, then that next option has swung the court, hasn't it? And then that ball can then just open up the court so widely for them.
Yeah, and you know, they're looking as well, if they're looking forward for like 2.5, and then they're using the reset, but with purpose. So we saw that last play when we talked about that court balance, Sarah Bell sent it back to the line. I think she sent it back to Birchurst, and then she's clearing, and you've got Hayward coming through, and it's almost seamless, like they know where each other is going. And then the no-look pass from Hayward to open up Sarah Bell, but in relation to what's on in front of them, that's what's really key. They're not swinging it with no aim at the end of it or as a last-ditch option. They're looking in the circle and going, okay, the defence are all nearest the ball, so if I swing it over to Sarah, what happens is that reverses, and we've got then the attack in front of the defence, and it opens up the circle beautifully.
Always one step ahead of the game, which is the best way to be. So West Wales Phoenix now trailing 11 goals after that second quarter. They started off really strong, didn't they? They were kind of goal for goal at the moment. So head coaches Helen Thomas and Wendy Lewis, what do you expect to see from them for this second half?
I think it's almost the reverse, the other side. There's lots of straight drives down the court. They're not really running. So we like to talk about running on diagonals and the ball travelling on straight lines. Whereas after the centre pass for them, there's not necessarily a second phase off where everyone's really wide. But that comes right from the beginning. So when they go to take the centre pass, both your wing attack and goal attack are both coming over the line and both looking for the ball for 1 or 2 seconds. So I'd be saying to them, look, why don't you just sit a bit deeper? And it'd probably be asking Lauren Evans to sit a bit deeper because they're being really smart, City Flames. They know that Lauren Evans is the one that's shooting all the shots. So they're basically trying to keep her out. You can see them almost double marking her, keeping her out of the circle. So I'd probably tell Lauren Evans, look, you sit in. Rachel Griffiths, you come out and look for second phase. Let's go wing attack over. If it doesn't land with wing attack, then go back. But what I want is, or this is what I would do, what I want, Evans, is I want you to sit in that circle a bit more. So you're punching out and punching back in, but I don't want you doing too much around outside to start off with, because she's the one that puts the ball in the net.
She is definitely a bit of a playmaker for them at the moment, isn't she? And we do know Lauren Evans can play a wonderful goal shooter, but West Wales Phoenix, another team, unfortunately, that has been plagued by a number of injuries this season, continuously having to chop and change their players around the court. But as you said, Lauren Evans doing a lot of work in that court at the minute. She's defensively, she's coming all the way up to transfers line, and she's really putting arms over ball. She's getting turnovers, she's getting tips, sometimes being pulled for obstruction, but she is working really hard, isn't she? And we've seen the difference it makes to have that attacking defensive work, but then she's obviously working extremely hard to get back then to...
Yeah, and I still think she has to do that defence, absolutely. But I think if, when they're on attack, if she goes in a bit more and Griffiths comes out a bit more, don't get me wrong, Griffiths can shoot as well. But at the moment, they're not necessarily putting as much pressure on Griffiths. That's staying as a one-on-one. I think if you end up with Lauren, and Lauren Evans is being marked by the wing defence and goal defence, it's not necessarily the double of the keeper. So I think if you get Lauren Evans in, bring Griffiths out, I think you might actually end up opening Griffiths more on the give and goes and driving in the circle, because they'll be so focused on Evans. So just something different for the defence to have to think about, something different.
Well, let's see if Phoenix do indeed listen to your wise words there and try and shake things up in that shooting circle as the players get back onto the court. No apparent changes from City Flames apart from one on that wing defence swing. Megan Cooper takes on the wing defence bib and Jill Morgan takes the bench.
I've been really impressed with Jill Morgan. I thought she'd done a great job in this first half of the game. I don't think we saw her as much yesterday in the second game. I think she's done a really good job in this one.
Well, no changes for Phoenix since their last 7 on the court. Sarah Jordan continues in that goal defence position.
But if you look at the screen now, everybody's together.
They are very much in those far channels, aren't they? But also you can see Flames are really boxing in those players. And Maddie Thomas does well to change her hip angle.
Lovely ball. Nice middle from Griffiths.
Better movement from Griffiths, and she is also a long-range shooter. We saw a lot of her yesterday shooting from longer ranges.
Yeah, and I think, give her the ball more, get them to focus on her a bit more, and then you're working off 2 shooters again. Lovely screen. Oh, we've got changing goal
We do have a change in goal shooter. So Tash Charles has come off the bench. We heard her from the bench and noticed that she was off the court. Olivia Brown has come in to goal shooter for City Flames. Another youngster. And Megan Cooper, first touch on the ball, off balance, saves the ball. However, maybe Flames also forgot that Tash Charles had come off the court trying to put that ball in.
Yeah, it was a bit ambitious, wasn't it, from halfway line. Phoenix
again down that side of the court.
And look, you know, sometimes it works if you're on a quick transition, but if it's happening all the time, it's a lot easier to intercept. It's a lot easier to read. Oh, well held.
Wonderful work from Griffiths. And it will move now up to the Lauren Evans range.
That was really good work by Griffiths as well to hold that rebound position.
Boxing out Darlow in that rebound. Taking the score now to 21-11. Still 10 the deficit.
Yeah, Brown just moved a bit too soon on that first offer. That's why she had to go to backspace.
But Phoenix can't keep the ball on that one. Turnover, lovely. And Sarah Bell finding the space for Brown. Olivia Brown, also a very versatile player, plays goalkeeper and goal shooter. Hasn't quite found her eye yet. And Megan Cooper, the wing defence, is pulled for causing contact.
Yeah, I think Maddie Thomas will be relieved at that because she was having all sorts of trouble trying to get around her.
Lauren Evans with a smile, knowing it's in her favourite shooting area.
And Griffiths, again, has that rebound space.
Much better rebound positioning from Griffiths this quarter already, isn't it? And now she's finding the ball in a space that she also likes to shoot from.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lewis Howell, lovely swing from Lauren Evans, who was finding it difficult against Birchurst.
Yeah, she's right to go off court though, but probably just needs to run all the way down the goal line.
Birchurst doing a great job to keep Lauren Evans out, working extremely hard and flipping all the way to the other side. Radcliffe.
I think it's the speed of Hayward. She was down at the defending circle a second ago, and then we blinked and she's up right in the pocket.
She is a rocket on this court, and her change of pace, including her change of direction, it's like her body is fluid, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. An absolute nightmare to mark. Blink and she's gone. Good shot by Brown. Second time of asking, but so composed.
Lauren Evans again, that catalyst in the middle.
Oh.
Griffiths. And Katie Darlow again underneath that post for the rebound.
She's so strong underneath there, isn't she?
Oh, Radcliffe plucked that out of the air. Sivak, much better from her this quarter.
Oh, it's unfortunate for them they couldn't land that, because actually as they were coming through the court, I was just thinking, oh, this great space by West Wales Phoenix.
Well, Birchurst has been doing a wonderful job against Lauren Evans this third quarter, trying to take her out the game, but Evans has not given up yet. But here is that combination of Hayward and Bell.
Yeah, but look at the width they create.
Look at the space Sarah Bell has on that far side of the court.
Yeah, it just doesn't, between them, they're just not getting drawn into the mess. If everyone's on one side, one of them's always staying out on the free side, and it's lovely. Better defence by West Wales Phoenix, trying to keep them up. It's unfortunate there for Thomas that she's been pinged for contact. I thought she was doing a really good job of keeping the attack up the court. A smart play to try and do that.
They've got a nice setup there. Hayward using her body to protect the space away from Howells. And Olivia Brown will put that in the net to take the score to 24-12. And Rachel Griffiths finds herself in wonderful space. So did Mary Thomas clock that. Sivak all over Brown, knew exactly where she was, but Olivia Brown put her body on the line then and the body of her bench to take that ball.
Lovely quick transition and a nice pass into the backspace.
Griffiths has really come into the game now, hasn't she, this third quarter?
Yeah, and you know what? It was absolutely key for her to do that, because I think it'll just release a little bit of pressure off Evans. Oh, great tip there from Birchhurst, but it still lands. And Griffiths secures another goal.
Sarah Bell and Hayward again finding each other on that court. Bell couldn't quite find that though between her feet.
This is where they need a wide.
Megan Cooper.
They need their back defence player to come on the wide on that West Wales Phoenix so that they can just open up the court.
Not spreading their play as much as Flames are. What a shot there by Griffiths. Lauren Evans was running around the back of the court.
I love it because Griffiths has just stepped up completely to that shooting role now. I mean, she could shoot before, but she wasn't necessarily getting the opportunities, and she's gone, that's fine, you mark Evans, give me the ball.
And Evans just stayed in that circle a little bit more for that one.
And again, superb rebound space from Griffiths.
Phoenix trying to close this gap. Sarah Bell. Finding space, finding Brown.
Yeah, it was lovely space by Brown, wasn't it? She just had acres of room behind her.
Lovely swing from Lauren Evans, and even she knows she can't get there. And she waited and still puts the ball in. Bit of mind games going on between Evans and Burgess at the moment.
It's an amazing battle, isn't it?
Lauren Evans was standing still in the middle of the court, watching her team get it to circle edge. Olivia Brown couldn't quite keep her balance on the back line.
I think she's getting caught a little bit where Charles was yesterday now. She's almost getting really encouraged on the goal line by Sivak. She just needs to give herself a little bit more space. It's fine for her when it lands in pocket, but when it lands at the top, she's too close to the goal line.
And Maddie Thomas tries to keep that ball alive and finds Evans. And there is Griffiths again.
And another turnover ball for them here. Oh, 5 seconds. She's got to put it up.
An obstruction called. She will have another chance at this, Rachel Griffiths. And a contact call, so even closer she goes to the post. And she puts it in. The pressure of that shot with no defenders, no time on the clock. And at the end of that third quarter, the score is 26 to City Flames, 20 to West Wales Phoenix. Well, what a quarter for West Wales Phoenix. City Flames putting 6 goals up in that quarter compared to West Wales Phoenix absolutely smashing that quarter.
Yeah, I mean, let's not forget that City Flames have obviously had a change in personnel there, and therefore it takes a while to settle. And those connections take a while to build once you've made changes. Slightly different style of play potentially between Brown and Charles. So just finding those connections might, you know, whether they leave that on and let it build is one thing. But actually also West Wales Phoenix, they've just tweaked their attack a little bit in terms of the play between Griffiths and Evans. And they've almost freed Griffiths. They're looking for Griffiths more. They're giving her the ball more, and she's sinking the shots. And not only that, she's getting into really good rebound positions now. So even in the second quarter, we had quite a few where Evans missed a few towards the end, and it was Darlow that was getting every rebound, while this time it's not, is it? It's Griffiths, and it's going straight through the net.
Absolutely, and obviously we are seeing the battle between Birchurst and Evans, and it's all over the court. We did see Lauren Evans at one point swing the ball over to circle edge and just stand still in the middle of the court thinking, I'm just going to wait here now.
Yeah, and you know what? I think she's doing exactly the right thing, because by doing that, she's given the whole of that circle to Griffiths and saying, okay, well, it's yours, girl. You got this one-on-one. And Griffiths is doing a really good job one-on-one, so she doesn't necessarily need to fight to be in there. She can hold off, and I think every credit to her for doing that, because the opposite of that is fighting through it, isn't it? Maybe getting called for contact. And the other thing is putting both defenders in the circle where they're both rangy and can turn balls, so fair play.
Yeah, and she did then, of course, sprint her way in and got the ball off the circle edge and split landed and put the ball in. So she made her own work for herself, didn't she?
Yeah, exactly. Timing is everything. I still think their centre passes need a little bit of work. They're probably not going to be able to fix that going into the fourth quarter, because it's something that they probably need to look at after this game. But when they are transitioning quickly on a turnover and the defence can't set up for City Flames, that's working for them. So I think they've just got to take every opportunity now that they turn and capitalise by taking it through as quickly as possible. When City Flames get to set up and they force them all one side, that's when they're losing ball.
Well, we will see now as we go into this final quarter of the first match of the day. City Flames currently leading by 6 goals in comparison to that 11-goal deficit we ended on after that second quarter. So Phoenix have really brought this game back.
They really have. And look, like looking down, I'm not sure that Flames have made any changes. So fair play to Jamila Abbott, the coach for them. I think she's made a good decision there to let them run it out, to let those connections build. But it's also a brave decision.
So no changes, like we said, for Flames, and also no changes for Phoenix, as obviously head coaches Wendy Lewis and Helen Thomas found that their 7 were working as well. And here are Flames just working the ball.
They need to stay disciplined, West Wales Phoenix, because they don't really need time to be run down too much. They want to take every second of this game that they've got.
They don't want to hand the ball to Flames just as it's just happened and give them an easy goal, do they? They want them to work for it and earn it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and Darlow, you could see she wanted that one. Lauren Evans arriving after running off Birchurst and still puts that goal in the net. I bet her legs will be tired tonight.
I'm surprised they weren't tired yesterday, to be fair.
Maddie Thomas stayed in control of that all over Megan Cooper. Lauren Evans working from the back of the court now and secures that from the hardest shooting position on the court, top of the D.
That was an amazing shot. I thought, oh, why isn't she passing that off? Because she's got potentially an offload, but
and now
that's why.
Megan Cooper is fighting off Lauren Evans as Birchurst has stayed more in the circle, maybe picking up that Rachel Griffiths is now also a threat.
Yeah.
Well, Flames have got a lot of work to do for this one because Lauren Evans is absolutely on fire.
She is, and she's smiling. I don't blame her. If I could shoot like that, I'd like be jumping up and down every time I shot. It's absolutely stunning shooting from her. Hayward has to be a bit careful here not to step in too far. It was a great hold by Brown.
Wonderful space. And Radcliffe picks up the rebound, but Sivak takes the ball from the air.
Oh.
And Olivia Brown on the defense, but can't quite find a player. A bib is on the floor. It is the bib of Lewis Howell.
I love the fact that she didn't go and get it. She was like, oh, I can't.
She waited. Can't move my feet from this position. I got the ball. And Maddie Thomas really used her body well there against Cooper, but wasn't given the ball. Jess Thomas held for 3 seconds.
That was really good defence in front, just keeping everyone deep.
Radcliffe can't quite find the net, and Sivak again taking that ball.
There's just a gap in the middle here. Ooh.
Thomas unfortunately losing that battle with Cooper. And Hayward. Lovely space by Brown. Can't quite get her hands on it.
Right, West Wales Phoenix now need to really work this ball through. Their defence need to do some give and goes and drive it through, because at the moment, City Flames are doing a really good job of creating a void in the middle and only having one option.
And there is Cooper again. The footwork was called. 1 foot just landed. It's a little bit too early for it.
That's a good decision to go right over the mess to the centre.
And Lauren Evans looked to shoot. Past Rachel Griffiths' face. But Phoenix have really pulled this back. 11 goal deficit at half time. Currently a 3 goal deficit. We've seen it done before, but this is in true style.
Oh, it's off.
Darlow will pick up that rebound from an uncharacteristic miss from Evans.
And they just need to make sure they maintain focus in that shooting circle. If it's going to go up, get that rebound position.
Nice play to reset that ball from Flames. Hayward deep in pocket.
Really smart play here between Hayward and Bell. They're not getting flustered, just maintaining possession to create an opportunity.
And they will gladly play the ball around, won't they, between them, and reset it until they feel their shooters are ready for the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was a turnover for them, so they could well have crushed West Wales Phoenix dreams of coming back now.
Phoenix were well and truly on a roll. Momentum, and Olivia Brown finds the ball from Bell and takes that next goal for them. 29 plays 24. Again, a small deficit.
But again, nothing on in front once that first ball's landed.
Lauren Evans staying firmly in the circle. Maybe an option is needed now.
Yeah, lovely. Drew both defence, opened up Griffiths.
And that option was drawing away.
They need some big turnovers here, West Wales Phoenix. And City Flames just need to stay composed. That was a superb feed under pressure.
Well, here come Phoenix again. Oh, Lauren Evans, change of direction, wonderful work. Little 1-2. And didn't quite find her feet before trying to bounce the ball off Darlow. Oh, Jess Thomas. I thought she was going to take that.
She did well to pull out of it, actually, because she would have absolutely wiped the other player out. So fair play to her.
Phoenix now trailing by 5. And Sarah Bell will get her hands on any ball, won't she? She'll pluck it out of the air.
Yeah, and just whereas before she sent that back on a reset, that pass into pocket wasn't quite on, but there wasn't a reset on for her.
Lewis Howell pulls for contact against Elise Hayward.
Lovely goal line drive by Ratcliffe.
Radcliffe just not able to find the net, but Brown does. Flames now keep extending this lead.
And I think what's nice to see is it is building that combination between Ratcliffe and Brown now.
Rachel Griffiths, lovely work. And Darlow will take that interception. Birchurst in acres of space on the run.
Great decision. And look, Radcliffe didn't even turn then. They are quite happy to run this clock down, Flames.
2.5 minutes left on the clock. They will keep playing possession. Radcliffe. And she likes that range as well. So many long bomb shooters in this competition.
Yeah, off 1 foot as well. Fair play. Great shot.
And she knew exactly where Sarah Bell was in that one. And there is Sivak. Oh, what an unfortunate call for Sivak. What a wonderful take that was in the air.
Yeah, I think the whole arena went, ah.
Well, 8 goals now, the deficit for Phoenix. 34 plays 25, up to 9 after that last goal. Back down to 8 after this one from Griffiths.
Yeah, Griffiths has really come alive in the second half of the game. I think, you know, they've really started to look for a... But I think in fairness to City Flames, they've won this game, but they've had to win it still.
They have worked very hard.
They've corrected
in this last quarter.
Yeah, they've corrected some errors from yesterday. Defensive pressure has been on point. Attacking prowess has been on point. Like, their whole team has literally been firing. Birchhurst has had such an impact in shutting down Evans.
Birchhurst has not stopped running the entire quarter. She takes the ball on the run. She's always on reset. She's shutting down attackers. Lauren Evans now stays in that gold third.
30 seconds left on the clock here.
And Radcliffe takes that turnover straight into Brown. 36 plays 27. Well, Maddie Thomas knew what was on the clock. Sarah Bell knows what was on the clock.
Yeah, there was still plenty of time, and you just get the feeling that she'd just given up a bit there.
And a contact call drawn by Brown. So plenty of time for her to put that ball in. And there goes the buzzer. Well, what a game from both teams here at the first game of the day at Day 2 National League. FleetEV National League at House Sport in Cardiff. City Flames take the win by 10 goals, 37 play 27. Their first official win, City Flames, and it's much, much deserved and much needed for their confidence boost.
Oh, you know what? They were amazing today. There's no two ways about it. I'm not going to lie. I was a bit disappointed in them yesterday just because we know how they can play. And today they were like, that's how we can play. A really stunning performance. West Wales Phoenix, you know what? They came back in and they did a lot of work. They tweaked some stuff defensively. I thought they were really, really pressuring. But yeah, it's just disappointing for them, I would imagine, because they came so close to pulling it back and then it just ran away again.
Absolutely. Well, back to the drawing board for both teams now for their second match of the day later on this afternoon. And we will be back with you just before 10:10 for our second match of the day, which will be Northwest Fury versus Southeast Blazed. You don't want to miss it.